Well, hi folks, this is Lee from skirmishwargames.com. Welcome to the channel and to our second game of Stargrave Dead or Alive, the bounty hunting solo scenario generator written by Stargrave author Joseph McCullough. So while Stargrave Dead or Alive is meant to be played solo, if you watch our last game, we've been playing it cooperatively. So for instance, in the last game we had a half crew each. So I had half of the Omega Sector Patrol, and Lynn was playing half of the Motley Reapers, and we hunted down the infamous mercenary Tamix Phage. For today's game, I'll again be fielding half a crew worth of Omega Sector Patrol, but this time with a captain instead of a first mate, and Lynn will be fielding half of the Motley Reapers under the command of their plucky mouseling first officer. And together, our two teams of bounty hunters will attempt to find and eliminate Pondo Pondo, a rare and possibly unique alien life form who is a powerful psionicist and has assembled a gang of hypnotized thralls to help protect him. So for some reason, Pondo Pondo has decided he's going to take a little holiday here in the Neon Lotus Happy Fun Zone, and he's brought his gang with him for protection, but that's where we're going to try to track him down. So with that, let's jump right into the action and play some Stargrave Dead or Alive. I begin the game by introducing my half crew from Omega Sector Patrol, which was comprised of my captain, Yana Kalashnikov, and a couple of troopers, a lowly recruit, and a grenadier. And then Lynn, you have your first mate, what's his name?
Marsoon Castinian.
Marsoon Castinian, who is a robot master, and he has brought a robot runner and a robot what?
Recruit.
Recruit. Here is a big Veerman burner back here, and here is a Pathfinder. This is Mr. Jones from Die Hard Miniatures. What have you named him for this adventure?
Takit Kavas.
Takit Kabas, the Pathfinder, the rat Pathfinder. So I have my captain, you have your first mate, and together we are going to hunt down the alien known as Pondo Pondo, which is this kind of, I don't know, he's got psychic powers. He can do suggestion, he can levitate, and he kind of projects this aura where if people try to shoot him or attack him, then they have to roll against their will to see if they even can, because he keeps saying, I'm your friend. Don't hurt me. I'm your best pal. But he's also got a pretty lethal psychic attack, and he bites. So Pondo Pondo is going to be a worthy adversary. And so Pondo Pondo's gang is scattered about the Happy Lotus Neon Fun Zone. So like, for example, here, this is a sentry. This guy here is another sentry. I think that lady is a sniper over there. And on this other side here, there is a recruit. There is a Pathfinder here on top of the building. There is a burner down there in front of the building. There is a gunner over here. There is a trooper there. And
on this far side is the recruit.
And there's a recruit over there. You may notice that some of these buildings are marked. So this one's marked 1, this one's 2, and that one's 3. That designates them as notable features, so that will help us determine where the mark shows up, where our bounty shows up today. And also in some of the scenarios, people move around in relation to the notable features. I don't think that is a factor in today's game, but one of the factors is once Pondo Pondo hits turn 7, if we get that far, he's going to try to scoot to the edge of the board and escape. So there is a time limit. But anyway, Pondo Pondo is our mark for today. He is the psychic overlord, and so he's got his gang deployed, and our job is to deploy. We have half of my crew, half of Lynn's crew. We're sharing the contract, and we sort of have to keep an eye on each other for the sake of honesty. So I'm going to deploy over in this corner. Lynn, you're going to deploy over in the opposite corner, and then we will go to a captain phase, followed by a gang phase, so the bad guys will get to move, followed by a first mate phase, and then a soldier phase, and that will comprise the turn. And then there's kind of a mechanics tree, a movement tree, which sort of determines how all the gang members are going to move. And mostly, if they see somebody who's an enemy, they will shoot at them. If they can move and get in range and line of sight of an enemy, they will try to do that. If they're in combat, they'll fight. And then Pondo Pondo kind of has his own characteristics, his own movement tree, but it's pretty similar, except he has psychic attacks and other things kind of built into that as well. So that's a brief rundown of our second mission here of Stargrave Dead or Alive, and in this case, Yana Kalashnikov and her troopers from Omega Sector Patrol are joining some of the forces, the first mate, a couple of robots, a burner, and a Pathfinder from the crew of Motley Corps 6, otherwise known as the Motley Reapers. So we're going to go ahead and place our crew, and then we'll get on to turn 1, the captain phase, and see what happens. Okay, Lynn has informed me that Pondo Pondo is in actuality a squarg. He is part of the Sligs and Squarg Reaper miniature pack. But in this scenario, he is Pondo Pondo, the fearsome psychic criminal, and his gang of baddies. So we have placed our crews. I've placed mine down in this corner behind the shipping container. We have to place them in such a way that we're not in line of sight of any bad guys. And Lynn has placed her first mate and her half crew down here behind the restaurant and discotheque. And again, she has to be out of sight of any bad guys. And now we roll to see where Pondo Pondo goes. So we will roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the time-honored fashion. So 5, so he's going to go in notable feature 3. So Lynn, you want to place him somewhere over there? Where would Pondo Pondo like to be? Right there by the staircase. He can actually levitate if he wants to, so he can climb buildings and move over terrain features with no penalty. And he also has a devastating psychic attack, and he bites. Okay, so it's the captain phase. All right, I guess it's time to activate Captain Yana Kalashnikov. She is a biomorph, and so she has adrenaline surge, regenerate, toxic claws, toxic secretion, and energy shield. And she tried to do toxic secretion before the game, which would have given her and one other of her troopers poison bullets, but that didn't work. So what she's going to do is she's going to activate with her 3 troopers, the 2 troopers and the grenadier, and then the poor little recruit will have to activate in the soldier phase. But she's going to try to activate her energy shield to begin the game. So that is a roll of 12 and 11. Ooh, I guess it would be advantageous to spend 1 point of health to get 3 points of energy shield. So in this case, she is going to do a 1-point strain to reach her goal and activate that energy shield. So she's down 1, but she gets a 3-point energy shield, which is only good against shooting, not against hand-to-hand. Because she used an activation to do a power, she gets a free power move, whether she was successful or not. So she is going to move kind of over here with her free power move, and then she is going to move her 6 and kind of get up here by the side of this building. And we're assuming all the characters in the game have some sort of top-down vision. They have some sort of satellite imagery, so they know where everyone is. So that's why they kind of move in the direction of the nearest enemy, even though they don't have direct line of sight. So that's how that works. Then we have the grenadier. In the last game, I was the victim of a grenadier that lobbed a grenade down on top of my head and got everyone in my squad at the same time. Now I have the grenadier, and he can shoot indirectly, which is going to be useful. So my grenadier's movement is a lowly 5 because he's in heavy armor. So he's going to move kind of up this way. So he's going to move up this way, and he is going to lob a grenade. So I think what the grenadier is going to do is put a hurt on the sniper. So he's going to lob a grenade over this building. And it kind of looks, if I lob it right in the middle, it's going to hit both the sentry and the sniper. So if he's dead on, that's where it's going to land. And maybe if it scatters, it'll scatter one way or the other and still hit somebody. We can hope. So the target number is 12. He gets a -1 for shooting a grenade launcher and another -1 for doing a hasty shot because he moved. But his shoot is +3. So actually he needs to get an 11 with all the modifiers factored in. So 11 or better, he gets a 10. So fortunately, because he was close, it's only going to scatter by 1 inch. All right, let's see which direction it scatters.
Well, it scatters toward the sniper.
Yeah, toward the sniper. So a little bit closer. Probably will not hit the sentry at this point.
But at least it hit the sniper.
But it does get the sniper.
So then it's a +3 shooting attack.
So the sniper has a fight of 3. It is a +3 shooting attack with a grenade. We're going to say for this game that the white die is going to represent the gang and Pondo Pondo. So let's see what happens. So 17 + 3 is 20. 18 + 3 is 21. So that's bad news for the sniper because she lost. So 18, 21 versus her armor of what?
10.
Armor of 10. So she takes 11 points. So she's wounded and stunned which means she can only do one action, and when she rolls to fight and things like that, or shoot, it's going to be at a -2. So that's good news for Yana Kalashnikov and her troopers of Omega Sector Patrol. So she has 2 more troopers that can move, and these guys are both moving 5, and they're just regular troopers. So they could do a move and a half move. So he's going to go up here, and then kind of do a half move sort of over there. And this other trooper is going to move up to about here. And so that is the captain phase. So Yana Kalashnikov has moved. These troopers have moved. This grenadier has lobbed a grenade and has badly wounded the sniper. So in a normal game of Stargrave, we would be moving on to the first mate phase, but in Dead or Alive, it is now the gang phase, which will be followed by the first mate phase. And Lynn reminded me we forgot all about our loot, so we're just going to leave the loot from the last game in place. So there is a physical loot token there and a data loot token kind of over here. We could go through the rigmarole of replacing it, but it's there, so that's where it shall stay. So now we have the gang, and I guess we will just kind of start from one side and sort of move around. So I thought I was going to have to take a mulligan here because I moved my little trooper down here in the corner, and he actually is kind of in line of sight of this Pathfinder here, but they're not quite in range.
But that'll be the direction he'll move because it's line of sight.
But yeah, now he sees this guy, and so he will kind of move in that direction. So, do you want to move that Pathfinder? So Linda suggested the Pathfinder might take a leap off of the building. How far is it to the ground?
It's only 3 inches, and he's got 7 inches of movement.
Okay, so actually you can fall. So I'm looking at the quick reference sheet. It says falling less than 3 inches, no effect. Greater than 3 inches, take damage. But it doesn't say anything about 3 inches exactly. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He will fall 3 inches, and that'll take up 3 inches of his movement. And
he'll move another 4.
And move another 4. So he leaps. The alien Pathfinder leaps to the ground and starts barging across the street there. This used to be a traffic area, but they put in a pedestrian mall, so that's why all the streets are blocked off, so revelers don't get run over by hover cars after they got their drink on. So the Pathfinder has jumped off the building. He is kind of moving across the courtyard there. Okay, so checking out line of sight from here, I think the burner does have line of sight on this trooper, so he would move this way. Pondo Pondo does not, and the recruit does not. I don't think he can see anybody. So if we want to move the burner, we can move the burner this way.
Burner moves 5 inches.
He moves 5 inches, and he will not be in range of his flamethrower yet, but we want to try to take him out before he is, because that's bad news. So he moves 5 inches that way, and then we have
Pondo Pondo.
Pondo,
who also has a movement of 5. But since no one is in line of sight, he will move randomly, correct?
He moves randomly.
So let's see which direction he moves. He moves that way as well.
So Pondo Pondo is basically following the Pathfinder and the burner. Okay, so the Pondo Pondo activation tree says that if he doesn't have anyone in line of sight, he moves randomly. He has moved randomly, but now it looks like he might have someone in line of sight. So this little trooper here, because he kind of stepped out, is now in line of sight of Pondo Pondo, who has a mental attack with an unlimited range. So it is a +4 mental attack against will. Is that correct?
Correct.
So the trooper has a will of 0. Pondo Pondo has a +4 attack. So he is going to be the white die, and the trooper will be the black die. Let's see what happens. So Pondo Pondo got a 6. And the trooper got an 8.
Yay!
So because of his Trojan helmet, he resisted the mental attack of Pondo Pondo. So we have a recruit right here, and he's going to try to move into line of sight, even though he doesn't quite have the range to shoot anybody. So the recruit is going to move 6 and try to get kind of in line of sight. So he'll kind of end up sort of bunched up behind these guys. He can kind of see him. He can kind of see part of his base way over there. So, okay, so that is that group of gang members. So, let's see, we have a gunner right here, a trooper right here. So if that gunner moves 5, that's not enough to get into line of sight of anybody. This trooper could move 5 and possibly get in line of sight, though, if he goes kind of like that. This trooper here would now get line of sight on this one trooper here who foolishly stepped out.
Would he get a little bit of cover? because it's kind of going over that corner if
Sure.
you go center to center.
It would be intervening terrain. So this little trooper here is shooting this little trooper here. It is a hasty shot, so that's -1. And it is cover for this trooper here, so that gives him a +1. So my trooper has a +3, and this trooper has a +2. And again, the white die is representing the gang members. So 7 versus 8. So it is a near miss. So the trooper rattles off a couple shots from the carbine, but doesn't quite land anything on this little trooper down here, which is good.
He's got a good helmet.
Yeah, he's got good heavy armor from the police stockpile, which is slowly dwindling over time. They have no resupply, so once these vests lose their integrity, that's it. So this gunner here can't get in line of sight of anybody, so he's going to move randomly. 5 inches sort of this way. So everyone's moving this way. So this recruit here, if she moves 6, can she get line of sight on anybody? And I would say not.
Probably not.
Because she would end up going like here. So that's not enough to get in there.
So she's going to move random.
So she's going to move rando because she hears gunfire, but she doesn't know which way to go.
So she saw the sniper get hit by the grenade.
Yeah, so she's going to move kind of this way.
See if she can render aid.
Running toward the explosion. That's brave. So the recruit is kind of running this way to be near the sniper and the sentry and this other sentry. And now the sniper only gets 1 action. And can she get into line of sight of somebody? Can you see a way for her to get into line of sight with a movement of 6?
Nope.
So she's going to move randomly. She's shell-shocked from the grenade explosion. So she's going to move kind of this way. Her movement of 6. So the sniper goes this way. So she's going to move kind of this way, bringing her wound marker with her. She shook off her stunned effect at the beginning of her activation. Now we have a sentry here and a sentry here. And this building actually goes to the edge, so there's no way for this sentry to go around it. So he can't get into line of sight that way. So I had a thought that maybe they could climb and maybe get line of sight, but they don't quite have enough movement to do that. They only have 5, so I guess they're going to have to go randomly. So this sentry, so he kind of goes sort of like up here. And this other sentry here. For some mysterious reason, he decides to go this way.
Getting away from the grenade fire.
Right. So we have a sniper, a recruit, a sentry, and a sentry. Then over here we have a gunner, a burner, a pathfinder, a recruit, and Pondo Pondo, all because this one trooper decided to take a peek through the gap in the shipping containers and became eligible for line of sight. So that probably was a tactical error, but it did bring all the enemies out into the open, so at least we know where everyone is. So now it is the dreaded first mate phase. So now we go to the first mate phase. So from your starting position here in the corner, your first mate and your half crew, you don't feel like you have line of sight on anybody right now. And if this billboard wasn't in the way, that might be a different story. So you're going to try to sneak up and get into a firing position for the next opportunity.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, sneak away.
So my burner is going to activate in the soldier phase. The rest are going to activate with my first mate.
Okay. First mate is activating with the Pathfinder, the Recruit Toolbot, and the Runner Toolbot.
Correct.
So your little bots, your runner has a movement of 7, and your recruit has a movement of 6.
So, little robot is going to move 4, and then another 3.
All right. Little junkyard toolbots.
Yeah. And he's going to move 2. Another 5.
So your Oompa Loompa-sized robots are cautiously creeping along the side of the building.
My robots don't have a whole lot of armor.
They're just basically recycled Campbell's soup cans.
Yeah, so putting them in line of sight of a burner and a pathfinder and Pondo Pondo would probably not be the best thing.
All right.
So I'm moving my first mate right up behind them. And then my pathfinder can move 7.
All right.
But he's going to stay up right behind them.
So I notice you're letting your little robots lead the way. So the toolbots, the first mate, and the Pathfinder are moving up, and they are kind of close to this gunner here, but he's behind this decorative billboard, so he doesn't quite see them yet. Not direct line of sight, though on his overhead satellite imagery, he knows they're there.
And the reason I let the robots go first is my first mate has a skill called remote firing. And so if a robot has a line of sight on one of the enemies, and my first mate has a line of sight on my robot, he can use them to do a +3 shooting attack.
Well, that's good thinking there. So now it is the soldier phase, and since we're here anyway, do you want to move your burner, since he is a soldier type guy?
He's going to go exactly the opposite direction.
So he's going to move off on his own with his napalm tanks. What could go wrong? So that is your soldier. Now I have a soldier to move. So I have one soldier to move, and actually soldier is a bit generous. This is actually a thug, a low-level criminal that was captured by Omega Sector Patrol, and they said we can either leave you in the holding cell or we can make you a recruit. So he has been recruited for this mission. And what's he going to do here? So we had briefly considered having this guy down here try to shoot at that trooper, but he can't even get in range with his little pistol, so he's not going to be suicidal about the whole thing. So instead what we're going to do, he's going to make a very unspectacular move and just move slightly down the edge of the shipping container and just park there until a better opportunity presents itself. That's as far as he's going to go. So that is the soldier phase. That is the uneventful soldier phase. And now we go to turn 2. Turn 2 on the big die. Will we make it to turn 7 and watch Pondo Pondo flee to the edge? I think it's doubtful. Now we go to the captain phase. So what is Yana Kalashnikov and her crew of Omega Sector Patrol going to do? So actually Yana is now more than 3 inches away from her crewmates. So they're going to have to operate in the soldier phase. So they have to kind of stay put for right now, which is kind of a drag. But she can do something. Yeah, I think what she's going to try to do is just get kind of gutsy here. So she's going to move sort of, let's see, she can move upwards of 6. So she will kind of move out here into the center. So she'll kind of move out this way and unleash hell, unleash her rapid fire on the wounded and bloodied sniper who is kind of staggering around the plaza. So since she's wounded, she's going to have a -2 on her rolls. So you can kind of see the sniper right here, and here's Yana right here. She's well within range. She's shooting rapid fire, so she's going to get +2 damage if she hits. So the sniper is rolling the white die. So Yana has a shoot of 3, -1 for hasty shot. So Yana's going to get a +2, and the sniper is going to get a +1. Is that about right?
Yep.
So not so good. So that is a shot of 10 for Yana and a defense of 16 for the sniper. She must have sensed something was coming, and so she was able to dodge all of those Gatling gun bullets. So good for the sniper. So that is my captain phase. Now we go to the gang phase. So now the captain is free to get shot to pieces by all of these gang members. So that's cool. That is the downside to a no guts, no glory strategy is, it doesn't always work out. All right, so now we go to the gang phase. That includes Pondo Pondo right here, a recruit, a pathfinder, a burner, a gunner, and a trooper. And they're all kind of moving toward my side of the board. So had my troopers been able to activate with the captain, this Yahoo right here would have moved out of sight and not been attracting so much attention from all of those bad guys on the other side of the board. But no, he hasn't moved yet, and so he is in line of sight of quite a few people, I think, though range may factor in. So he is, let's see, is everyone in range over there? So the burner is not in range. The trooper is in range. The Pondo Pondo is in range, and the recruit is not. Okay, so this trooper has a shoot of +3, but there's intervening terrain. So the other trooper, the defending trooper, has a fight of +2, but he gets +1 because of intervening. So it is +3 and +3 with the gang represented by the white die. So that is an 8, +3 is 11, 10 +3 is 13, so the shot misses. So the trooper fires, does not hit. All right, so next we have a burner. His flamethrower is not in range yet, but I guess he'll try to move. He's getting close to being in range, though, of the captain. The captain is over here, so he can't quite see her. All right, then you have the Pathfinder. And he could shoot, I think. Is he within 24?
Not quite.
So he'll move up. So he will try to move up as far as he can and then shoot. So the Pathfinder moves up to get line of sight.
He's got intervening terrain.
There is intervening terrain. So the Pathfinder is shooting with a +2. The Trooper is defending with a +3. So that is a 10 versus 6. So the Pathfinder hit, does 10, but the Trooper's armor is 11. So yeah, his Omega Sector Patrol carbon fiber breastplate does its job and deflects a shot from the Pathfinder. So now the gang has a recruit or Pondo Pondo. If Pondo Pondo didn't have eye stalks, then he wouldn't have much line of sight because there's a barricade in the way and a Pathfinder. But can he kind of wiggle his way forward to
he could
get a
go
better
right
shot?
between those two, maybe. Right up to the barricade and peek over the barricade.
So the question is, Pondo Pondo moves up to the barricade. Can he see through these guys with his one eye stalk and see this guy? And after carefully getting down at eye level, we think he can't quite see the other guy. We gave him every benefit of the doubt, but it doesn't look like there's line of sight there anymore. So no mental attack this turn. But we do have a lowly recruit here for the gang.
He'll move up his 6.
Not enough movement to get over the barricade, and he's not quite in range to shoot anybody. So that is the gang phase for these guys, and now we move on to these other people, like, there's a gunner, a sniper, a recruit.
And 2 sentries.
2 sentries. There's a sentry way back here. Okay. Start with the gunner, I guess. All right, so this gunner here, this rapid fire guy, we have kind of measured in all directions to see if he could move his 5 inches and get in line of sight of anybody. And where he is right now, it doesn't appear that he can, even though he's not that far away from people. Just the way the terrain is laid out, he can't quite get line of sight on anybody. So he's going to move at random and move backwards about 5, which will put him right about there. So the sniper is right here. My captain is right here. So the sniper can definitely take a shot at her, even though the sniper is shooting at a -2. So the sniper normally shoots with a +4, but she's wounded, so now it's +2, and the captain has a fight of +3. So +2 versus +3. Oh, 21.
And 21.
And 21, so the captain avoids getting seriously mangled by the skin of her teeth. So that is a wash. Had the captain got a lower roll, then that would have been 21 points of damage versus her armor, though she does have an energy shield, but that still would have been a pretty big hit. So that would have been no good at all. So Captain Kalashnikov avoids getting hit by the sniper, but now here is a recruit who can also shoot at her if she's in range. So the recruit is shooting the captain. It'd be funny if the recruit killed the captain. That would be hilarious. The recruit has a shooting skill of 2. Captain has a fight of 3. So, oh boy. So that is 18 versus 18. Wow. So, yeah, getting some very close rolls. The problem with these high die rolls is even if you're just 1 or 2 points below where you need to be and you don't cancel it out, then it does a lot of damage. So, yeah, so it's a furious firefight there, but so far the captain is avoiding getting killed. So one disadvantage of all this terrain, it's kind of hard to see everybody. So here's a sentry right here who actually can shoot the captain here. So her job apparently is drawing fire. So he is going to shoot with a shoot skill of +2, correct?
Yes.
And she's defending with her fight skill of +3. So +2 and +3. Oh, the sentry got a critical hit. So he's going to do 20 points +2, because that's his shoot skill, +5, so that's a total of 27. She fortunately has the captain fortunately has an energy shield, so that brings it down to 24, right? And then her armor is 11, so I think that's, 13 points? Is that right? So that is 13 points off of her health of 16. Because she took a point off to get her energy shield. So she is down to 3 points. So she is stunned and wounded, Poor Captain Kalashnikov. So we have to say that this sentry here was doing a pretty good job of being a sentry, because he almost killed my captain. And now we have one last sentry over here who's kind of hiding out, and so he's going to move at random because he can't go this way. So rather than just kind of move him to the edge and have him stop, we'll move him this way so he has a better chance of getting into the fight. So that is the sentry. So that is the gang phase. Now we go to the first mate phase, and I will just kind of point out that the entire gang is now closing in on my position, with the exception of that gunner over there.
These guys are going to all activate together. The two robots, the first mate, and my Pathfinder.
All right.
So the runner is going to move up here.
So this little robot runner has run out, and he's going to take a shot at the rapid fire gunner there.
Gunner has a fight of 3. The robot has a shoot of 1,
Okay.
-1 because of hasty shot.
All right. So 0 versus +3, and didn't quite get him.
Didn't quite get him.
So the first robot was a runner, the second one is a recruit, so he can't move quite as fast.
No.
All right. That is your first mate.
Yep. So he's going to move up to here. Then he's going to activate his power, try to activate his power. He's got remote firing, which if it activates, I can let the robot do a +3 attack on the gunner.
So the first mate here has moved up to the corner. He now has line of sight with his robot, who has line of sight with the gunner over here. So the robot could do a shot if the first mate is successful with his remote fire power.
Correct.
Is that what's going on? Okay.
Yep. And to activate remote firing, it's a 12. And we got it.
You got it. Okay, so the first mate connects with his robot. He connects the modem to his robot. The robot now has some kind of secret gun that opens fire on the gunner. So the gunner has a fight of +3, and the robot now is shooting with +3. And he got him.
So he hit him for 17.
Okay, so the robot shoots the gunner for 17. Gunner has armor of what, 11?
Yes.
So he gets him for 6. So he's stunned, not wounded or anything, but definitely stunned. So the gunner is
Stunned.
stunned.
I have a feeling he's going to take it out on the robot.
He might. He might shoot some holes in your tin can. That's true.
Yeah. But hey, he did his job.
He tried his best. He's just a little robot in a big, cruel world. And then the Pathfinder.
And the Pathfinder is going to move his 7.
So the Pathfinder has moved up 7.
Mm-hmm.
And now he can move another 3.5 if he wants to.
He's just going to move to right here.
All right. He's going to hide behind the electronic billboard and see what happens. All right. So now it is the soldier phase. You have a soldier.
I have a burner.
Most of my troops are moving in the soldier phase this turn. You have 1, and that's this burner here. So what's he going to do? Can he burn somebody?
He's not going to be close enough. He can move his 5 and his other 2.5 and get over here.
So he's sneaking up to perhaps unload some napalm on some unsuspecting troops there. So that's good. And then I have a ton of people to move in the soldier phase. So the grenadier is going to stay in cover. He is going to lob a grenade over here on top of the head of this recruit and try to catch this sentry in the process. And hopefully if it scatters in a fortuitous direction. So the target number for the grenade launcher is 12, -2 for indirect fire, -1 for the grenade launcher being inherently inaccurate, +3 for the shooter's skill. So that is just a straight 12. So he just needs a 12 to land on target. And he gets a 1, which is a dud. And also it's a 1, so the grenade launcher is jammed. So the grenade launcher is jammed. Fortunately, though, the grenadier has not moved, and you can use a move action to unjam your weapon. So in this case, he's going to quickly try to unjam his grenade launcher so that's ready to fire. Next time he gets to fire. So now I have 2 troopers and a lowly recruit. This trooper has a movement of 5, which is actually enough to climb atop the container, which gives him some options. So this trooper here has climbed on top of the shipping container, making himself a visible target, and he's going to try to shoot at the sentry. It's a hasty shot, so he gets a +2 on shooting, and she gets a +2 in defense. So 18 plus 2 is 20, not a natural 20, unfortunately. So he hits the recruit. Her armor is 10, so she takes 10 points. So she is wounded and stunned, so that's something. So this trooper is going to move up to this corner so he can use it for hard cover, and then he's going to shoot at the Pathfinder. So it makes it a hasty shot. So he is shooting with a +2, and the Pathfinder is defending with a +3.
Correct.
Pathfinder gets a 6, and the trooper gets a 20.
Nice.
So that is 22, 27 versus the Pathfinder, who has an armor of what?
10.
Armor of 10. So that's 17 points versus the Pathfinder. Pathfinder is eliminated. Pathfinder goes off to the Hall of Heroes. We needed it. We needed something to happen. So the Pathfinder is taken out. The recruit's going to get into the fight somehow. The recruit is going to kind of move kind of 6-ish this way. And then he'll move up kind of another 3, which doesn't quite get him in range, but at least he's moving in the right direction. So that does bring him within 3 inches of the captain, so that's something. Okay, so trooper shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grenadier shot. This dude moved up, and I think that is all my soldiers. So that is the
all
end
the soldiers.
of the soldier phase. So now we move into turn 3, and looking at the time clock, this might be our final turn, so we'll have to see if we can make some progress. We're now in the captain phase. Captain Kalashnikov is in a bad way. She's going to shake off her stun token. She can only get 1 action. She's going to move this way and take a breather. So she needs a little moment to rest and gather her resolve.
So is your recruit going to do anything?
The recruit is going to activate with the captain. So yeah, so the mangy little recruit who was broken out of the holding cell and offered a chance to redeem himself, he's going to run forward into the middle of the street, and he's going to shoot at the sniper who is wounded. His shoot is a measly +2. He has moved, so it's a hasty shot, so that makes it +1. Sniper has a fight of what?
3, but -2 for being wounded.
Okay, so it is +1 versus +1. Sniper has the white die. Let's try to make something happen here. He got an 11 on the sniper. What's the sniper's armor? It's
10.
11. 10. Sniper has an armor of 10. So he takes the sniper down to 2. That's not quite what we were hoping for, but I guess it's something.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing. That is the charge of the light brigade for the runner. So he ran forward, put a small caliber round, a 25 caliber round, into the sniper's body armor. And yeah, I guess that is my captain phase. So now we go to the gang phase and see what these nasty people are going to do. But what this does do is it does make this guy the closest target.
For the ones over there.
For the ones over there. So now they can blaze away at this guy rather than anybody else. Pondo Pondo and his goons are going to blaze away at this poor little trooper who's on top of the shipping container. So Pondo Pondo gets a +4, and the poor little trooper on top of the shipping container gets a 0. So let's see what happens. So that guy's getting hit with a mental blast of some type. Pondo Pondo gets an 8, 12 versus his 6. So he gets a total of 12. And you said armor counts as 10 in this case against the mental blasts. So that is 2 points off the trooper. So this trooper is down 2 points. He gets a mild headache from the psychic attack. And now we have, let's see. So there is a trooper, there is a recruit, and a burner. Okay, so the trooper first. So the gang shooter is shooting with a +3. This trooper here has a fight of +2. There's no cover that I can see, so let's just see what happens. So, 17, 18, 19, 20, not a natural 20. Versus this trooper, he has an armor of 11.
So right. 9.
So he is down to 3 hit points, wounded and stunned, but still hanging in there. All right. Now there is a recruit and a burner. So the burner is going to move 5. He's going to kind of go 1 inch this way and another kind of 4 inches more or less this way. Does that put him in range to shoot? Where's your burning template?
Almost, but not
He
quite.
can almost get in there. He's ready to spray some napalm on these guys.
But they'll get to attack before he does, so.
Right.
Or move.
So that's the burner, and then we have the recruit, and he's going to go about 1 inch this way, and another like 5 inches kind of this way. And not quite in range to shoot anybody, though he's getting pretty close. All right, so that is those dudes. So moving over to this side of the board, I guess we can start with the sniper. So does the sniper want to shoot the recruit? Yes, she does. So she's wounded, so her shoot is normally 4. Now it's down 2, so she gets a +2. And the recruit has a fight of +2, so it's even Steven. And the recruit dodges the sniper bullet. The sniper is kind of shooting one-handed with the sniper rifle, and so that didn't hit. Of course, so now there is another recruit right here.
She's got to unstun.
She has got to unstun. She is also wounded, but she can shoot. So she's going to shoot at a -2. So that's 0, right? And he has a fight of +2, so she's at a -2. But she got a natural 20, which I think still counts as a natural 20. So that is a critical hit. So yeah, so that's a critical hit. It gets a +5 damage, so that's 25. But then -2, so 23. So the recruit has an armor of 10, takes 13 points of damage. His health is only 12. So the sniper couldn't do it, but this recruit here took out the recruit. So the recruit goes to the Hall of Heroes, and you know, maybe he'll survive at the end of the game when we do the rolls for survivability, but it doesn't really matter because he costs nothing. There's more thugs in the holding cell back at the precinct. So that is the end of the recruit. He served his purpose. And then finally,
You've got 2 sentries.
2 sentries. So this sentry here with a +2 shoot is going to shoot this trooper who is wounded. So this trooper here is wounded, so that's normally a -2, but he's also stunned, which gives him a +2 because he's kind of doubled up. And the sentry has a +2 to shoot, so it is even Steven. And 10 and 10. So there's a firefight, but nothing happens. So the wandering sentry back here, I was about to say he can't get within line of sight of anybody, but actually he can get in line of sight of the burner. So he would move his 5 up this way and shoot at the burner. Again, it's a bit hard to see because of the terrain, but take our word for it. There is a burner right here, and down here, a sentry has emerged. So the sentry is shooting with a +2. He's moved, so it's a hasty shot, so that's +1. And the burner's fight is
+3.
+3. So +1 versus +3. So the sentry got a 15. The burner got a 12. So the burner takes 15 points off of his armor of what? 10?
11.
11. So he takes 3 points. That's not that bad.
No.
So the sentry here shot the burner here, did 3 points of damage. He finally found a target. And then is that almost everybody? There is one more gunner on the other side of the board here. So this gunner here took a few shots from the toolbot. So he whips around and unleashes his rapid fire weapon on the little tin can that shot him. So the gunner has a shoot of what, +3?
Yep. And the robot has +2 for fight.
Okay.
Come on, robot. Yes.
Okay, so the robot got an 18. The gunner got a 16, which is good because it would have been +2 damage. Okay, so that is all of the gang, right?
So now it's the soldier phase.
Now it is the soldier phase. I have some soldiers. You have some soldiers.
I have 1 soldier.
You have 1 soldier. Okay, so the burner is right there and is looking for a target.
So that's 4 to there.
All right.
He's going to move his other 1. And then he's going to unleash
A torrent of flammable liquids. So he is going to catch the recruit and the sentry in a gout of napalm, or whatever they use in the 26th century, or whenever this takes place. So we think the sentry probably gets cover for being around the corner. So the recruit does not. So you want to shoot the recruit first? So the burner has a shoot of +2, -1 for hasty shot, The recruit has a fight of +2, -2 for being wounded. So it is a +1 for the burner and a 0 for the recruit. And
17.
17 from the burner. So that is more than enough. She has an armor of like 10 to incinerate the poor little wounded recruit. So she goes up like a candle in flames. Okay, the sentry being around the corner slightly is going to get hard cover. That would give him a +4, +2 for his fight. So that is +6. And you are shooting with?
+1.
+1.
Big number, big, no.
No. Okay. So the sentry was around the corner, and even if he hadn't been, it would have missed. So you burned 1 though. So that was your soldier. Now I have lots of soldiers. So I have 3 soldiers. I have a grenadier right here who fortunately cleared his jam last turn. I have a soldier here, and another soldier here. This soldier here is wounded. So the grenadier is going to lob a grenade, punk, on the recruit. And hopefully that will hit. So he's shooting indirectly, so that's -2. He is using a grenade launcher, which is -1. His shoot is +3, I think, though.
Yep. So your target number is 12.
So the target number is 12. We could use a hit here. 12! Exactly on target. Punk.
Perfect.
So the grenade lands on top of the recruit. He's going to catch the burner at the same time. So the grenade attacks with a +3. The recruit has a fight of +2. So I got a 9 versus his 7, but his armor is what, 10? So it doesn't do anything. But we have a chance here
On the flamethrower.
With the burner. Okay, so +3 shooting attack, and the burner has a fight of +3, so it is even. And I got an 11, 14.
Burner has an armor of 11, so take 3 off, so he's got 11.
3 off. The wounded trooper is going to remove his stun marker. He is going to shoot at the burner. He gets a shoot of +3, but it's -2 because he's wounded. So just a +1, and the burner has a fight of what?
+3.
+3. So +1 versus +3. I got an 11 versus his 20, so that's a miss. This other trooper can shoot, though. I have a little trooper down here. So he's going to get a +3 shoot versus the burner's +3 fight. So unfortunately, that is a 17 versus the burner's 21, so we didn't do anything. Okay, folks, that is officially the end of turn 3, and we're going to have to call it here. We are reaching the 3-hour mark in today's game, and that is the practical limit that our cameras and our gray matter can handle. So this is as far as we got. We did not liquidate the mark. Pondo Pondo. I think we did kill a Pathfinder and a recruit, and I think we lost a recruit as well. Yeah, I wish we could finish every game that we start, but the way we decided from the beginning to try to shoot our battle reports, it requires multiple cameras, it requires quite a lot of editing, and you can see there's quite a lot of cuts. So with that in mind, we're actually rethinking our battle report strategy somewhat and trying to come up with a format that allows us to post more games more frequently. Still keep them entertaining, still include the narrative elements, still include the cinematic touches we like to put in there, but maybe not make them so labor intensive so that each one takes 1 hour production time per 1 minute of video. I think other channels probably look at what we're doing and think we're nuts. We do the videos we like to do the way we like to do them, but unfortunately it's just really labor intensive, and so we have to rethink that a little bit if we want to be able to post more videos over the course of a month, and that's sort of the goal. So please bear with us as we work through that. We'll no doubt experiment with different formats over the next few months and hopefully come up with something that really works. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you like the things we do here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up. And of course, please visit us online at our website, skirmishwargames.com, and we will see you soon.